Hello, overclockers. Welcome. Oh, screw this. Where's EPIC when you need him?
And welcome back, everyone, from that short little break. So, going into this third map, we've got Bleak 2-0 currently, sitting on tournament point up against Yari Esports. And Yari, they have been pretty much on the back foot this entire time. I mean, it's been a very, very difficult first two maps. I mean, Bleak 13-4 the first map, 13-3 the second map, Haven and Ascent. Now we're going to be going into our third map. We're going to have to see what Yari Esports do. They're going to really need to pull something right out of the bag if they want to have a chance of getting back at Bleak.
In the first map, we had, especially on the attacking side, we saw rounds that they were able to get away with. It was a 10-2 half, but those rounds in particular weren't that of their own volition, of their own making. It was that of capitalizing off mistakes and oversteps of Bleak, which, yes, that is a great thing to do as well, but you can't rely on all your rounds to be done based off that. So if they can take some sort of initiative, when we saw them coming into Ascent, some of the rounds were a lot more close, and a lot of first plus. Even the eco rounds, some of the sheriff shots they were hitting were absolutely sublime. So that's not an issue that I'm having, like, it's complete skill diff, or they can't shoot back or anything like that. They can. That's why it's kind of like, I want to see more rounds. I want to see more rounds coming from them. And some of the rounds that we were seeing in Ascent were a lot stronger. They were a lot more put together in regards to how they were playing and the timings of playing off each other. So if we can see that maybe ×2 coming into the third map, it could be a little bit more of a series rather than a straight 3-0.
Yes, like you said, going into, map number 2, Yari Esports, looking a bit more cohesive, able to work more towards together when it comes to defending as well as attacking. They were looking really, really good on the attack as well, because we're typically seeing Bleak much more dominant on the defense, especially on Haven. But going into Ascent, Yari looked really, really good, and maybe as we're in bind now, they might be able to start taking more of those rounds. Like you said, they need to start taking a bit more initiative into them, and they might be able to start putting scores on the boards through their own efforts. Now Bleak, they are going to be insta-locking that Yoru pick. I do like myself a good old Yoru pick. It is very, very nice and refreshing to see one. And it is going to be picked up by Lime there. And then as Yari close in on the agent selects Raze, Breach, Sky, Brimstone and Cypher. Pretty standard cookie cutter stuff, in all honesty. Pretty much the agents you would be expecting. I mean, you could probably switch out the Cypher for probably a Killjoy, but I'd say Cypher is probably the better choice in terms of which Sentinel you want to be picking up on this map.
Yeah, especially like you said, it is interchangeable. It's not as if you have to change the duelist because you got a Killjoy now. It's Cypher or Killjoy. And yes, one might be better on this map, but it's also down to the personal preference. So Sophie is going to be preferring the Cypher on this map. And look at the side of Bleak. We do have Jamie back on that smoke, it's a stable position for him. I do like the fact that the Yari is paired with that Breach, alongside the fact that we have the Raze and the Breach from the side of Yari. So the util combinations that we can get from both of these are going to be massive. So you can get stuns, flash, and TPs from the side of Bleak with that Yari, but then you can also get stuns and nays, and basically net free kills possibly on the lower buy rounds from the side of Yari.
Yeah, exactly. Like, both teams have their advantages with the compositions they've picked. We do see Jam picking up the Reyna. Very, very interesting choice. I would have probably maybe preferred that Raze pick, but you are smiling, so I'm guessing I'm assuming you're very excited to see Jam on this Reyna.
Jam on the Reyna, I think he's been asking to play it this entire LAN, and I believe this is the only time he's been allowed on the Reyna. He has been on, Killjoy, Sova, Raze, he's been on a few different things, but the Reyna is the one that he truly does want to go on.
His wish has finally come true. The members have finally decided to give him the green light to pick up that Reyna.
But it's 4 flashes.
That's true, yeah.
So you have 4 flash agents from the side of Bleak. So I hope Yari have brought their sunglasses, since
I hope so.
it can turn into a little bit of a blind fest.
Yeah.
We have the Yari, we have the Breach, we have the Sky, and also the Reyna Leas.
I mean, hey, maybe that is the tactic from Bleak. They blind Yari so much that their monitors just sear their eyes and they're just not able to just see because the retinas are just completely burnt out.
Yeah.
But
Let's hope they do have those sunglasses like we mentioned. But going into the first round, it looks like there's going to be a little bit more of a stack towards this B bomb site. So there is no clear mid on this site, so you're going to see a lot more defaulting in regards to working around the TPs and possibly over towards A showers and holding the lurks out from A short.
exactly that. So yeah, looking like they're going to be more stacking over towards that B long. Gate crash coming out and then the blind side. Getting prepped and ready. Guy like coming out straight out along with that gate crash. And Lime finding a lovely opening kill thanks to that, finding 2. Now Sophie having to back up after getting caught in the lead. Ianto finding the kill onto Jam. Able to pick up a kill, but doesn't matter because the numbers are still in advantage of Bleak. And now Jamie going for the running gun. Unfortunately, going to find themselves at the end of the classic of the barrel. But Waddle, what a lovely flank. Able to pincer Bennett there with Lewis. But Ianto was able to get the kill. But Lewis is there for that final cleanup. And this pistol round was a lot closer than we have seen before.
Yes. And, well, we've seen these two play on Bind before, and this was the dreaded downfall of Bleak in the upper bracket finals. This was the start of the end in that series for them, and it was against Yari Esports. So, when we're looking at this, yes, they were able to pick up that pistol round, but it wasn't, like you said, as lack of trying from the side of Yari, so it was very close and a lot more scrappy gunfights, which does seem to favour them a lot more since, well, you see the cohesion when we're talking about Bleak, the expertise, the familiarity of these players. When you're talking about Yari, you want these more puggy style maps, and it's exactly what they're going to be doing. Yanto opening that up with a kill onto Waddle.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, Judge, Jury, and Executioner called Jamie himself, finding 2 kills. But as we were saying, members of Yari falling down like flies ever so fast. Sophie having to pop that cyber cage just to try and give them a semblance of safety, but they are just going to be spotted with their shoulder poking out and Jam closing it out, and it's 2-0 once more to Bleak.
Yeah, and well, let's see if they can continue on the streak of converting the 3rd round. So when we were talking about Bleak versus Yari in the previous maps, they were normally 5-0 or 6-0 down and only able to pick up a round later into the half when it was full buy versus full buy and stuff like that. So when we're talking about Yari, I hope that they can convert this round and give a little bit more bark to the bite that we've seen in throughout this series.
Exactly that, and now looks like we're going to be stacking more over onto that A side, but look at the aggression from Bleak. They're going to be making their way forward. Fault line coming out from both sides, as well as that fake out blind side coming out. Lime finding one, going to be opting not to pop another as Jam just forces their way forward straight through into Yari Esports. I mean, the defenders, they're the ones on the attack now. The hunted becomes the hunter, and they are hungry for blood as they are finding the members of Yari caught out all unawares. And oh, Jamie, what was that? Dancing fancy feet jumping up in the air like a majestic swan. They just take them out.
Majestic swan, I don't think it was that I picture when thinking about a jumping judge, but I think it's more of a fear of nightmare, especially from the side of Yari. You have a judge jumping towards you. It might be majestic from the side of Bleak, but it's definitely devastating from the side of Yari. They've lost that gun round. Now they're going to look at the money that they forced back onto Sheriff's Classics and a Bucky in the hand of the Rays. Can be good for an opening with some double satchels, but it doesn't seem that it's going to be given to Yanto at all.
No. Bleak completely all the way over by that teleporter to get into showers, and yeah, Jamie getting completely stunned by the Trailblazer, and now it's all systems go for Bleak as they try and rotate and try and pick up the slack. And now Walty finding the kill. Bennett gets a shorty kill right onto Lewis, not what he wanted, and now as the orbital strike comes out into showers, not going to be able to find anything. Oh, Yanto takes out the clone of the fake out. And now they're just going to be backing away. Waddle sees the shoulder of Walsey, able to capitalize onto that kill. Guiding Light coming out, going to be faking it. Not able to find any information out of it. And Yanto is getting pushed all the way back into lamps now. They're not trying to take anything aggressive, but oh, what a lovely crossfire from Sophie. And then Bennett there to close out the round onto Waddle. And what a very convincing win for Yari Esports there.
Yeah, and good round to win as well. Yes, you've lost the your buy round, but going into that you had Sheriffs, you had Buckies, and well, capitalizing off the space that was able to get made by Yantu's double satchels, great position over towards Lamps, and was able to hold that for the entirety of the retake. It was an expensive round for them in regards to the ultimate economy. It was forced to use the Brimstone ultimate, so that orbital strike towards showers, gaining space, but if it's a round on the board, it's a round on the board for Yari, and it's Bleak this time with the dimensional drift, going to gain so much information, and look at this combination of utility.
Oh, Jamie cooking up an absolute meal right there, thanks to Lime with that information. So much aggression right there, and oh my goodness. Bleak, they're not giving Yari a single chance to breathe. Jamie securing themselves a third kill. Daki not going to be opting to go for that fake out. But it doesn't even matter because they are faced with 3 members of Bleak, and it's not looking good for Yari right now. They're just being completely dominated, and they're the ones that are meant to be going on the attack, but unfortunately the aggression is just being thrown back in their face.
Yeah, they're like, okay, you think you can go around, you think you can thrifty us, look at exactly what we're going to do back to you. The combination of utility, so you had that dimensional drift from Lime, the stun from Lewis, and also the orbital strike from Jamie has just netted 2 free kills, basically, without having to even take an engagement. So there's no risk at all to that, other than possibly a wasted ult.
Yeah.
But realistically, if it's a wasted ult, you have so much information that you haven't really lost anything.
Exactly, yeah. And obviously, thanks to that dimensional drift, Lime didn't even have to worry about taking any damage. Gate crash coming out from Lime straight into the cubby there, netting them a kill. Yanto is there for the trade on top of Box. And now as the showstopper comes out, oh, not able to find Lewis, but they are going to be finding them with a gun. But Waddle and Jamie lighting up that kill feed, and now it's a 1v1. Walty versus Jam. Jam able to hear that teleporter, and now they have made their way back over onto B side. They were going to be rotating, but
I think he's worried about the TP or the flank. He's not aware that, well, Jam was late to rotate anyway, and he's going to be the B-site anchor as the Reyna, which is something you don't expect. And it's going to come down to this aim duel here, but it's Walty that comes out on top. The crosses are both in position, but it is the breach of Yari Esports coming out on top. They're not even expending any sort of utility, they're just pure aim.
That it was. Really, really well done from Yari. They played that round really nicely. I liked Lime's gate crash into the cubby there. You know, getting that position early on as the chaos was starting to ensue, as Yari Esports were getting a little bit disorientated, but they were able to find one, but they weren't able to capitalize onto another where Ianta was there on the box being covered by the smoke. But they are going to be stacking more over onto that B site, looking like we're going to be going for a B site push, and there's going to be a flashpoint early on as Ianto takes a position. Now that Trailblazer coming out, Ianto opening up the kill onto Waddle there, and now Lime has been stunned thanks to that Trailblazer, but Lewis is there to back them up, able to find 2. Can they find a third? No, the blind side catches them out. Lime able to find the kill using that operator there, but unfortunately they were looking at the wrong spot at the wrong time as that Nora theft comes out thanks to Sophie of the corpse of Lime there. The Seekers are coming out just trying to find any information, but thanks to that Nora theft, free information has been gathered, and it's been given an opportunity to plant the spike. Lear coming out as well as the incendiary just to try and zone away members out, but we can see that Sophie there looking through halls, have an opportunity to catch Bleak on the backside. They managed to find Jam, they find 1, they find 2. Sophie netting themselves 3 kill this round. What a wonderful lurk from them, wrapping all the way around through Elbow into halls, catching Bleak with their pants down and able to secure themselves 3 rounds on the board. And they're looking a lot better now. I mean, look at the scores. Normally by this point, it would be like 6-3. But they're doing really well.
Well, realistically, it would be a 6-0 from what we've seen from the last 2 maps. So the fact that they've been able to net almost as many rounds as they have had in the last 2 previous maps as a complete in the first 7 rounds, that's absolutely amazing. There's a 1 round difference, right? Yeah. Normally we only saw that towards the pistol round, right? Yeah, so we've been talking about Yari Esports. They're going to be coming into this hitting the ground running, and it's definitely what Yanto's doing in this round, getting the first pick, going in for the second, and that's Jamie down with the camp. Waddle over on the other side of this site is going to have something to say about it.
Yeah, now Waddle not able to make any further movements after popping the Seekers. Oh, and that Rolling Thunder coming out straight into Lamps. And oh my goodness, Walty is going to be kicking his shin for that one because Waddle was not supposed to be getting away with that. But my god, they were able to. Lime on the flank there, able to find Bennett. And my goodness, Bleak, they're looking so good. They're winning the gunfights that they should not be getting. And oh my god, Waddle finding themselves a 4K. How he was able to pull that out of the bag, I do not know. But here we are seeing it right in front of our eyes. And Bleak, they just won what seemed to be a convincing victory for Yari, but no, they completely turned that one around.
Yeah, Waddle's just shown you an absolute masterclass how to play Skye in Lamps without dying. And being able to net 4 kills for himself in that round. Whether he was rolling Thunder with that Breach ultimate, it does not matter. Just hit the headshot, right?
Exactly.
I do feel that the amount of times that I've been Breach stunned, Breach ultimated, and I've still managed to hit the first shot, I do feel bad for the Breaches. Like you said, Walty's going to be kicking himself after that. It is definitely an unfortunate round to be going down under that. But it's Jam that's going to be taking the first intuition here, but it's Yanto and Walty that's going to be netting anything from it.
Yeah, now Waddle once again stunned, but it's not going to be stopping him. Showstopper coming out, not going to be finding any value, and Waddle finding the kill onto Yanto, but Waddle falls down to the Satchel, and Lime finding 2 kills, finding 3. As quickly as the attacking execution from Yari Esports, Bleak shut that down right in its tracks. 6-3 to Bleak, and my goodness, they are thriving in the chaos right now.
I don't think the ultimates like Yari Esports. No. So we've seen a Rolling Thunder from Walty, we've seen the Showstopper from Yanto. It just seems that the ultimate gods aren't smiling down upon Yari Esports today. The missed it wasn't even a missed ultimate, it hit Waddle, but, well,
just not enough.
Not enough damage, not enough close proximity where it exploded. But it's Jam going to be this time taking Shower's control. Sophie is the only one here to fight for it. If she can get this kill, it would be great, but unfortunately not. It's just an eco round, so Lime's going to get 2 for himself. Jam and Jamie picking 1 for the name. So it's all down to Azza and Waddle putting his name in the mix as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bleak, they knew exactly the game plan, Yari on that eco, so they knew they had all the time in the world to just make their way forward and just hunt down the individual members of Yari.
Yeah,
they
they're
are
vibing.
They were literally vibing that entire round. I mean, what was it? Jam using the Lyra at the perfect time to just catch Sophie completely off guard and just near-sighting them, just not able to get themselves the kill, and then they're able to just capitalize off that. And yeah, honestly, just, you know, a textbook play from Bleak there. Not much to say really about that. Guiding Light coming out from Daki, trying to find some information there on A shot, not able to find anything, but Lime once again with Dimensional Rift, and there it is. Oh, the fault line as well as the orbital strike opening up the heavens, but they're not able to send them to the pearly gates. But Jamie is going to get completely blindsided.
They're not going to even try and shoot that room, they're just going to run past it.
They're just going to let it go.
Reduced damage, but Yari is completely blinded in that gunfight, but traded out straight away by Lime. It's still a 4 versus 4, and ultimates are expended for the side of Bleak, so we're coming into this with 5 ultimates, and now only 2 remaining.
Yeah, the Seeker's coming out now from Waddle, as the Cyber Cage getting popped from Sophie, allowing Yari to push the way onto site, but look, Waddle is just hanging around, being sneaky, but unfortunately it's not even going to matter because Sophie's going to be using their dead corpse with the neural theft, finding the kill onto Jam as well. And now it is all up to Lime there on site with the backing of his teammates slowly close behind him. Blindsided. Jamie finding the kill on Sophie with that incendiary. Jamie able to find 2 and make that 3. And crikey Moses. I mean, Yari, yeah, I mean, Yari, they always have themselves in a position in these last couple of rounds where they can just, you know, they're supposed to be closing out, but Bleak, they pull a magic trick out of the hat and they just suddenly just turn it around, and they're winning these rounds that they seemingly shouldn't win, but like I said, we're seeing it happen right in front of our eyes. Yeah,
realistically in that round though, you have a post plant, you have a breach towards Showers, you have a player in Lamps, and then 2 players backside on A. They were able to kill Waddle, who is the A anchor, who is trying to dance around dice there, but it's nothing that could have been done for Waddle in that round, but when you're coming into it, you have a post plant set up. But the way Bleak are able to sort of create duels for themselves that Yari Esports possibly don't even want to take, right? You're in that 2v4. Realistically, you don't want to be taking any of these gunfights, and Bleak are just forcing them out and just winning them just outright, just winning straight outright on these gun deals, and it just really capitalizes on that 2 versus 4. But Jam is going to be making so much noise towards A Shore, and he's going to be shocked when the walk-up is coming, since he did try and clear it out, but they were just waiting for some sort of aggression, since Bleak are known for it.
Yeah, exactly. And that Trailblazer coming out, just to try and find some information with the L2 now. Ianto going for that satchel jump into Lambs, the Rolling Thunder coming out, but your boy Lewis is going to be capitalizing on Ianto, who's been completely stunned. Sophie finding the kill onto Lime, and now all of a sudden, everything has just come to somewhat of a halt. Daki just prepping themselves on top of the box, and oh, this is going to be a very, very fast teleport play, as Lewis is going to be sending out a fault line. Yeah, Sophie finding the kill onto Waddle, Jamie finding that kill onto Bennett, and then Sophie finding themselves a 3k, and then Lewis finding themselves in a 1v3 situation. We've seen Bleak handle these 1v3s before, but that Seeker coming out, finding the sole member of Bleak. Now that fault line just being able to dance over it. Now Lewis finds himself one, needs 2 more to clutch out 10 HP and a dream. Can they do something? No, they cannot. Just one well-placed bullet to Lewis's chest is all that Walty needed, and they are able to close out this first half 8-4.
This is one of the closest halves that we've had.
Yes.
Yeah, so normally we'd be seeing Bleak on double digits, possibly a 10 or 11 right now. So the fact that Yari Esports are keeping this in a competitive, yes, it's still a good round differential in regards for Bleak, but this is something that we'd see normally in a more competitive match. Yeah, 9-3, 8-4, 7-6, 6-6. They're okay. They're halves that we're not to shy away from necessarily, but when we're talking about 10-2, 11-1s, that's when we're kind of like, oop, what is happening?
Yeah, exactly. Those are when that's where we're going to have to start questioning why Yari are playing.
What is this? It's kind of like you have to be like, oh,
we kind of just have to like untangle this
yeah.
mess of thread that's all mixed up together. But it's like you said, like going in, like Yari Esports are starting to look a lot better. They're starting to look a lot more fleshed out, and Bleak making a 5-man push straight through into Garden, executing this attack. The Trailblazer coming out, managing to stun Daki. Daki's going to get stunned twice thanks to that fault line. Sophie finding one, Lime finding Sophie for that trade, and Daki being pushed away into Elbow, can be completely zoned out, and now Jamie has an opportunity to get this spike planted. Now, it is a 4v4 though. Blindside coming out from line into Elbow. Daki is getting blinded on, oh my goodness, caught with their hands out. Thanks to that Trailblazer, the line was able to capitalize on it. Yanto finding a kill. Satchel coming out, just trying to push someone, but no. Yanto caught out by that flashpoint, blinded. Lime securing themselves a 3rd kill. Can they secure themselves a 4th? No, Lewis is there to trade it out, and Waddle putting the name on the scoreboard. And now 9-4. 4 more rounds for Bleak, and they have won themselves the finals.
Yeah, not even just won themselves the map. Again, they are 2-0 up so far in the specify. First to 3. So they are, like you said, 4 rounds away from winning out EPIC39.
Yeah, now, again, I mean, Bleak have won every single pistol round right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if history is going to be repeating itself for, let's say, what, the 6th time? Bleak will be winning this next conversion round, unless Yari Esports pulls something completely different and just going to be shutting it down. And talk about different, Bennett's going to be walking up, but completely blindsided thanks to it. Thanks to Yoro and Lime, just not going to be able to find anything. Jam finding that kill onto Yanto, and Lime, oh my goodness, just making a name for themselves. But unfortunately, they're going to get stopped by Daki and Sophie finding Jam. 1v3, Waddle making their way through showers. Daki finding one with a Sheriff, finding 2, getting themselves a 3.
Vandal available to be picked up as well now.
A 1v1 situation. Daki putting themselves in a really, really good spot now to challenge Lewis. But look, they've only got 100 HP, not a single bit of armor to their name. But it doesn't even matter because they're going to close it out. Really, really well played by Daki there to net themselves a 4k. Really, really masterfully played from Daki there.
Yeah, some lovely shots there with the Sheriff. It does seem like you put a Sheriff in the hands of some of these Yari players and anything can happen, especially when Bleak are just jumping out of smokes into 1 by 1 into Daki on this sky. And again, a great upgraded weapon then, so that Vandal is in hand and it's only against, well, a half armor. or possibly no armor on Lewis at this point with a Bulldog. So realistically, when you're coming into that, you favour Yari Esports on Daki, and yes, it might have been a misstep from Bleak, but the fact that we were talking about this in the previous rounds, that Yari are capitalizing on the mistakes.
They are,
right?
indeed.
They're not just letting them go. And Bleak are making a lot of them right now. It does seem that they've taken a little bit too much for granted.
Yeah, they have. I think they've gone a little bit too comfortable, and Lewis just jumped straight out of hookah there. And they are going to be finding themselves faced with Walty, who's able to secure themselves 2 kills. So if you're getting the trade onto Daki there, as Lime just gets backed in the face with a well-placed bullet. Waddle at the end of B long. I mean, only Sheriff in hand, where Sophie has themselves a Vandal and Walty securing themselves 3 kills. I mean, that is definitely a round that Yari should be winning, going up against 5 Sheriffs, and they managed to close it out. I mean, 9-6, this is the closest we have seen these 2 teams in a single map.
Yeah, especially when you're coming into the second half. Like, realistically, yeah, you can say, oh, they were only 1 round differential in the pistol, 2 rounds. Yeah, that's okay, right? We understand that, but when we're coming into the second half, this is the closest that we've actually had. We have a match on our hands, compared to something that we were looking at, more of a Storm, more of a
Like
domination,
one-sided,
right?
like domination,
Very one-sided. And when coming into this, Yari Esports definitely have a lot more to say about it compared to what we possibly were expecting, especially from how Bleak had been playing in the first 2 maps of the series.
Yeah, and Lime popping that dimensional drift, giving us some information, and oh my goodness, Sophie shoots the fake out, but they are going to be able to find Lime in the process. Sophie having to get zoned away thanks to that aftershock. Now the members of Yari Esports are going to be having to back away, but like, look at that minimap, like you pointed out, 3 members of Yari on that flank. Bit more of a firing squad than what Bleak are probably anticipating. Daki finding 1. And now Lewis able to find the kill onto Yanto. Walty and Bennett able to set up a crossfire, and Sophie all the way back from Link there, finding Waddle's noggin as it just peeked over Dice. And now 9-7. I mean, like you said, we've got a match on our hands, and the Yari Esports is starting to look a lot better. They're starting to look like they're taking that initiative, and they are starting to win the rounds off their own back.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we were saying that previously, yes, it was kind of like over peaks or not possibly taking the game as seriously as, or the specific round in serious, and Yari Esports capitalizing on that. But coming into this, Yari Esports, they're a 3-man flank straight through out of B. Yes, it was helpful by Jam, but that was only 1 person compared to that 3, so there was going to be a secured kill there either way. And being able to capitalize on it, they were able to box these players, the rest of the players, into sight, into lamps, and then the utility just getting bombarded with the satchels, with the raise grenades and everything. There was nothing that Bleak really could do.
Exactly. Yeah. And now, as Bleak make their way through up B long, the Trailblazer as well as the Gate Cash coming out. Fake out. Oh, nearly gets shot. Daki able to recover there. They are up against a bunch of Stingers, and Yanto and the rest of Yari Esports able to just throw down into Bleak, and they're just going to close it out. I mean, it was a good effort by Bleak, but there wasn't much that he could have done, and it's starting to show. And now Yari, they've nearly equalized the rounds.
Yeah, and well, looking at this now as well, we're going to have back into a rifle round, and the ultimate economy is rolling back around. You have Rolling Thunder on both sides. We have the Orbital Strike for the side of Bleak. Yes, maybe the Reina Empress isn't as nearly impactful as possibly the Seekers or the Neural Theft from the side of Yari, especially if you can get that first entry blood. Even if it's on the lurker, with that capitalization of the Neural Theft, you can figure out where everyone else is going to be and rotate accordingly. But it is going to be a fight and a scrimmage towards a B long here.
Yeah, now the flashpoint as well as the guy like coming out trying to just disorientate the members of Bleak, but they have just backed away. They're giving up the space just in case there is going to be some aggression coming out. The fake gate crash coming out, but Lime did get caught out by the fault line. Both aftershocks coming out from both sides, just trying to zone each other out. And Bleak going to go for a bit more of a slow attack, but as those sky smokes come down, we can see that Lime is prepping the gate crash, but yeah, there is the Rolling Thunder coming out from both sides as well as the Seekers, and now the Orbital Strike coming out, and poor Lime. I mean, that's probably not what they wanted to happen. I
think Lime wanted it to happen. I don't
yeah.
think Jamie necessarily planned that,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a little bit of a disarray from the side of Bleak. The flashes towards CT are going to net some information.
Yeah, so if you're getting caught out by that fault line, now Daki slowly making the way, but oh, Bennett on the flank, finding two, and now it's all up to Waddle. Waddle managed to find one through the box, and they find two. No, they're going to get completely blinded by that guiding light, and Daki is going to be sending them into the pearly gates of heaven thanks to it. Now,
that is a round.
yeah, very scrappy one.
It is a round that seemed that it was gifted necessarily from Bleak to Yari.
I think that Lime Death in the orbital strike, I don't know if that was intentional.
Okay, no. So the thing is, right, you can't necessarily just kill your teammate in the orbital strike, so it doesn't do enough damage. It does, I think it does about 130 damage. Maybe even less, maybe 120, when a teammate goes into their own teammate's orbital strike. So realistically, if you're 100 HP, full shields, you can stick a defuse while orbital striking yourself. But that seemed a little bit more purposeful.
Yeah. Speaking of purposeful orbital strikes, Bennett throws one down, just trying to catch any members of Bleak off guard, and Bennett finding a lovely kill onto Waddle there as they were peeking out showers. The Lear coming out, as well as the Sky Smokes, just trying to halt any of the push. Blindside coming out, Walty finding Lime, but Jam is there to find Bennett, and now it's a 2v3. Bleak able to start picking up some guns, able to improve their arsenal right now as they're slowly making their way on to Dice there. Jam does have the spike in hand, just quickly jiggle peeking between that little slither of the Sky Smoke up into heaven there.
But look at Sophie's position, she's already pushed through B, so look at the reclination of Yari Esports, these two players. They know they're going to be looking for something, and the dog going through the smoke, but it doesn't matter, they're going to see him. The judge not going to be very useful. No heal available for Jam, so he's going to have to complete this on 5 HP, and it doesn't even matter. Walty's going to close that out with a lovely headshot. And now, for the first time in this series, Yari Esports are going to be taking the round lead.
I know, I mean, with the showing that we had on the first two maps, I didn't expect us to say such words. But here we are, 10-9 to Yari Esports as they are edging closer to winning map number 3, and they're going to be potentially extending this series unless Bleak decide to get their act together, because they've been losing quite a few rounds in a row now off mistakes that they shouldn't be making.
Yeah, I think there's a few key rounds that you can pull up and say this was not necessarily down to Yari making it happen, but from Bleak giving it and Yari taking advantage of it. So when we're talking about the rounds now, we're back on the gun rounds, and it does not even matter if they're taking this seriously or not. Yanto and the Flash is going to be shutting Jamie down. That's the smokes off the board for Bleak, so they're going to be having to go straight to A. And look at how they're going as a pack. You have 4 of these players on B taking that aggression, and is just left as a to fend down for this A side, play for the retake, and for the any information gain or picks he can get.
Exactly, and now the showstopper coming out from Ianto as they throw their paint shells into the corner there. Bennett able to find the kill onto Jam. That a showstopper somewhat wasted there. Don't know if it was a good idea to use it. Now as the neural theft coming out from Sophie, able to find a lot of information there as to where the remaining Bleak members are. Daki jumping onto that defuse, just faking it out, and now Waddle in showers, not able to find the kill onto Waddle, and now Yanto and Walty, they're just going to close out the round. A flawless round for Yari Esports. They are 2 rounds away from taking map number 3, and they are just going to wait it out a little bit. Just a little bit at the end there, just teasing Bleak to the end of the round there. But 9-11, and now Yari Esports starting to take that lead further and further.
Yeah, and that is, well, 2 rounds lead now for Yari Esports. Only 2 away from pushing this to a 3rd map to make sure they're not going to get 3-0'd in this finals. But Bleak, they're looking a little bit unlike themselves.
Yeah. They are not looking like what we've been seeing in the first 2 maps. I don't know if this is intentional or this just starting to just fall apart in some areas, but Yari Esports are able to fully just capitalize on this. They've won 7 rounds in a row thanks to that. And now they are looking to win 2 more to close out map number 3. Lime setting up the gate crash to go into showers there, but nothing's going to be coming off of it. Trailblazer coming out just to try and find and scout out any information, as Bleak are looking like they're going to be setting themselves up to go for a push onto A. Now as they push out, Sophie finds one, Lewis is there for the trade. Even Stevens in terms of man advantage. Jamie able to get the plant. Bennett throwing a few shots through the smoke, just trying to see if they're able to just connect to anyone from Bleak there, but not quite. Yanto finding the kill onto Lime. Aftershock coming into Lamps there, just going to be zoning members of Bleak out of there. And now Lewis finding himself on his own as he gets stared down into the barrels of Yanto and Daki. And now Bennett able to close out the round along with Daki there. And now Yari Esports, they put themselves onto map point.
Yeah, map point for them, and it's going to be a bit of a rough buy as well for Bleak, since they did come into that with a buy around, playing for the win rather than the OT. Although they have been on, well, a few round loss bonus, so they're going to be going to get the max amount of creds, so they should be able to buy up some extended rifles and some half armor. Like you can see, Jam's going to be only on a Guardian, not having the best match on the Reyna, so maybe it was a smart idea to not let him play it in the earlier maps. But,
yeah.
well, I mean, if you're on a map, like if you're 2-0 up in the finals, may as well let Jam have some fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. They are letting Jam have some fun, but
I mean, would you have fun if you were...
If I was in Bleak's position right now, I probably wouldn't have fun.
No.
I mean, Jam is 9 and 17, so he's... I mean, poor Jam.
Poor
not having the best showing right now. But Yanto finding that kill onto Lewis, and Walty finding Jam's forehead on that swing there. Yeah, poor Jam. I mean,
Poor Jam.
Yeah. Lime finding himself in that fault line. Not going to get caught out by that Trailblazer. Don't think they're able to find him just in time. But noise is going to be made, and Yanto swinging out, trying to catch him on the flank, but Jamie is there ready and waiting. It's a 3v4 situation. We've seen Bleak come back from situations like this where they do have the man disadvantage, and it's just ready and waiting for their smokes to come out, and that they do. Pops in the smokes of their own, but as the Seekers come out, Waddle is going to be pushing straight on through, charging through the defense as they take out Bennett. Spike is going to get planted by Lime there. That allowed them to get the dimensional drift, and there it is. It's being popped instantaneously. They have got themselves a blindside in their pocket as they manage to find where two members are, and Waddle able to find the kill onto Sophie thanks to that information gathering. And that aftershock straight into Waddle, zoning them out, and oh, they just get absolutely obliterated thanks to that aftershock. Walty equalizing the numbers thanks to it. Line's coming out as well as that fault line. Guiding light, catching Lime. Now Jamie in a 1v1 situation now. Really well placed bullets. They've got the orbital strike, but not quite able to send it out. A little bit too slow there as Walty is able to secure themselves a 3k, and they are going to be able to defuse a spike. And Yari Esports finally put themselves onto the board, and they've won map number 3, and it is 2-1 to Bleak.
Yeah, 2-1 to Bleak. This is not going to be a 3-0. They're having a little bit more oomph to them, especially in that map there. They were able to take the lead and also the win on that map. So, well, Yari Esports, they have life in them.
They do, they do. I think we're starting to finally see the potential that Yari Esports can give to us. I mean, Bleak completely shut them down the first 2 maps. We really did not get much of an opportunity to see how Yari Esports were playing. But like you said, Yari, they're really starting to come through. And I think in this map, I think Bleak started to show a few more cracks within their playstyle.
Yes.
Like you said, Yari were able to capitalize on them. A lot of the rounds they have been winning have been on the mistakes of Bleak. But some of these rounds, Yari Esports were able to take that initiative and take the rounds on their own back. But yes, Bleak are starting to show a few cracks, and they are starting to start pry open as Yari Esports start to take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're talking about the advantage of the mistakes of Bleak, that was only towards the start. As soon as we got those a few rounds in, like especially in the start of the second half, yes, they won the pistol, but then they lost the second round because it was a 4v1. 3 people jumped out of the smoke, got one tapped.
Yeah.
He picked up a Vandal, and then Daki then wins the one-on-one versus Lewis, who had a Bulldog. So even then, he was in the more favoured position with it in regards with weaponry. But the only reason he has that weaponry was because 3 other teammates just jumped out of a smoke and got one tap. So lovely gun skill from the side of Daki. But when we're talking about it, it's a bit rough in regards to how they lost the momentum and how Yari were able to actually build it up. So at the start, it was going back and forth, back and forth. As soon as the round was basically given by Bleak, the momentum has completely been lost. Yari has had sort of a breath of life into them then, and you can see even just on the timeline of kills and of rounds, it was only towards the end of that half then that Bleak even had any sort of answer to the momentum that Yari built up.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't really have much of a showing going into the later half of the second half because, yeah, I mean, Yari, they just look so dominant. They gained a lot of momentum, and I don't know what they've been talking about within the rounds, but it's been doing wonders for them. So we're going to be going into a short 5-minute break as we're going to be going over into map number 4. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it plays out. Will Bleak be able to come out on top with a 3-1 victory, or are Yari going to be pulling it out of the bag and taking us all the way to our final map? Who knows?
Possible reverse sweep.
I've had enough of all the wars, don't wanna think about it anymore. I'm tired of the feeling we are always heading for the door. So tell me